He is back. Diego Pavia is indeed back. Like Lord Voldemort in episode 4, admitted by Fudge in Order of the Phoenix, episode 4. What am I talking? Star Wars here? Crisscrossing my worlds. But anyway, so Pavia returns. And this year, by the way, he didn't necessarily do anything special. He's just a really timely football player. I don't have expectations for Vanderbilt to take the next step forward. Maybe they go out and crush it in the portal. Maybe they outperform expectations again. But can we all agree Vanderbilt overperformed in 2024? Every time Vanderbilt takes that step forward to get close to or even outright making a bowl game, always feels like they have the ability to take a step back. So Pavia was a 60% completion guy this year, 17 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. He's incredibly solid. It is a great guy for Clark Lee to have. You have continuity. You've got some momentum on your side. I'm interested to see in this window and in the next one who Vanderbilt's able to attract. What caliber of player wants to go there now that they saw what is indeed possible in Nashville. So the more interesting thing with Pavia, though, is not what he could do in the SEC besides upset someone who you don't see coming. I mean, oh boy. Auburn and Alabama are just probably sick of that guy. Steve Sarkisian is sick of that guy. But the ruling here is what is interesting. Because for those who are unaware at this point, I'll catch you up briefly. Pavia was granted another year or two of eligibility because essentially he said, and his lawyer said to the judge, because of what Vanderbilt did this year, there are NIL opportunities you're depriving me of by counting my junior college seasons against my eligibility. And the judge said, yeah, I agree with that assessment. And Pavia was like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I can come back. I can return. This could have wide, and I mean wide-reaching ramifications in college football. Because if junior college eligibility suddenly doesn't count, or doesn't entirely count, how many guys could play an extra year? There are players on every roster. This would go beyond college football, of course. But there are guys on every roster who are out of eligibility because, well, they spent a year or two at a JUCO, then they went to one or two Division I schools, and they've used up their 4 years. What if that first or second year suddenly doesn't count? What if 2 years of playing college football development just suddenly don't count towards your eligibility? This is going, I suspect, to continue to evolve. Heck, by the time you're listening to or watching this segment, it might have evolved because it's a quick-moving world. But it feels like there needs to be further action taken so that we can get clarity in the college football space of, hey, what counts? What matters? What should count? Should you be able to do 2 years of junior college ball and only use 1 year of eligibility? I don't think that's completely unreasonable. But is that going to have the momentum to pass legislatively and become official law in college football? That's what I don't know. But you thought Diego Pavia changed college football when Vanderbilt beat a number 1 team for the first time ever and upset Alabama. But really, his biggest impact on this wonderful, beautiful sport could go far beyond one Saturday in the fall, which I'm a proponent of celebrating all forever and always. I'm a regular season purist. I loved that game, not because I'm anti-Alabama, because I just love the fact that Vanderbilt pulled that upset, and it meant everything to those fans in Nashville, whoever was there, however many were in attendance, and the goalposts wound up in the river. So, more than a little interested to see how that plays out. More so, frankly, than I am interested to see what Diego Pavia does next year as Vanderbilt's quarterback and what they're going to accomplish. They're not going to be an SEC title contender. They're going to be Vanderbilt again. They're going to try to pull a couple of upsets, beat teams that you don't think they should, and yet they've got the quarterback who has proven time and again he's capable of doing that. So watch out for them. Let's go to a different quarterback who is returning, Noah Fifita. So Noah Fifita was a Pac-12 Freshman of the Year in 2023. And he has vowed to make amends for what happened in 2024 for Arizona. It was, shall we say, a bad season for a guy who in 23 as a start once he became the starter. He went 25 touchdowns, 6 picks, completed 72% of his passes. If you would like to hear the regression of all regressions, here we go. From 72% to 60.5%. From 25 touchdowns to 18 touchdowns. These are both 12-game seasons. From 6 interceptions to 12 interceptions. From 8.6 yards per attempt to 6.9 yards per attempt. So it wasn't good. Now, Fifita's loyalty to Arizona is admirable. There have been rumors over the last couple cycles that he's gotten offers from here. He could go there. I'm sure people have reached out and inquired as to his availability. I respect him for staying true to the Arizona brand. Tetaroa McMillan, his favorite target, is off to the NFL, so that's going to get tougher. But Fifita is a good starting point for Arizona head coach Brent Brennan, because it was, by all intents and I don't know if that was the exact right phrasing there, by all accounts, this was a failure of a season for Arizona. I thought they were a pullback team. That looked clear and obvious to me with everybody they lost and their head coach. I didn't see pullback to miss a bowl game, because I watched Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter be a two-man wrecking crew and carry Colorado into Big 12 title contention. I never thought they would win it, but they got closer than I believed they would, with mostly 2 guys on offense. There are other great receivers, to be sure. Arizona should have had a higher floor this season. So for them to miss a bowl game, lose to Arizona State in blowout fashion at home, I mean, it was bad. It was really bad. So Brent Brennan has one certainty on this roster, but he's got a whole lot of work to do. He has got players to acquire. He has got coaching to do. He has got soul searching to figure out, because for him to come in and be such a clear downgrade in the coaching department from what Jedd Fisch was the year prior, that doesn't just sting for the results on the field. That stings the fans. That crystallizes what a lot of Arizona fans didn't want to admit, which is, crap, Jedd Fisch is really good. Jedd Fisch was a really good coach, and we're going to be worse without him here. And if you were at that same sort of level, it wouldn't have been that bad. So now Brent Brennan's got to prove it. There were discussions. There have been discussions. The athletic director has had to make statements saying, yeah, we still support Brent Brennan. He's going to get a fair chance to play. After one season, that's how rough it was in Tucson this year. So you've got Noah Fifita, who better bounce back if you are Brent Brennan. Because if that doesn't work, I don't know what else is going to work exactly. And if it's no bowl game again for the Wildcats, with a guy who will be going into his 3rd year as a starting quarterback, you're going to lose faith of donors, you're going to lose faith of fans, and you might lose faith in the person that matters most of all, the Arizona athletic director. And I wouldn't be able to blame him. I would not be able to blame those individuals for saying, this went south, this went too far south too quickly if it's back-to-back bowlless seasons. So Brent Brennan's got a lot of pressure. He's got one foundational piece. And there are several more still to go. But could he bounce back? Sure. You give him the right pieces, you give him the right coaching. I know this guy can be good. But if he struggles again, that's a reflection on the head coach and the staff they have in there. And then a change likely gets made. Appreciate everyone listening. I'll see you next time. And until then, hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.